of going back a bit, and it's really rough on me. I know I've talked about it before, but you can see it. You can see it. And it's not because of the phase of life I'm going through. In fact, I'm here to tell you that it's highly possible that if we have any kind of sort of phase of life, why does it need to be negative? See, it's negative. This life is negative, first of all, because it's been reversed on you. I don't know if any of you can relate about this. There is a lot taking place that it's like you think the odds are against us, and you haven't made it very well. I mean, right? Everybody wants to be an Elon Musk or a Tesla or something like that, and really, who are those people? Are they human? I say no. And but then again, we could be highly misunderstanding them when they try to say something. Um, so I'm being ran through the ringer. I'm looking at it. I'm studying it. I can't say much about it. See, when you're being held captive by the enemy, right? The Stockholm syndrome thing. Then, um, but if it's not meant for you, that if you can't be controlled and held down in vibrational frequencies, you see, a narcissist doesn't get close to you unless you've fallen down. Somehow you've gotten needy, and they kind of, I don't know, they relate with it. See, I don't know anything about it except for I'm pretty sure I've seen it out there everywhere, you see. But okay, so it hit me pretty bad. It's like, oh, I got a parasite, right? Oh, I got it has a contagion, which I was trying to tell you. Wow, minute 2:40. Um, it doesn't matter what phase of life you're going through. It's it's very, very wearing on your health. I can see it all over my face now. I haven't been sleeping well. It's on top of phase of life, right? But why did that happen? See, I was going through a transformation. I think for women it might be different than men. Good God, people. Are women different from men? What the fuck is going on here, you guys? See, I'm 51, and I'm not affording to live like sleepwalking. And I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people. See, the internet's full of it. There's a lot of people that say that they are awake or they're awakening. And a lot of people have their versions of it, see. But I say there's the tippy top where you're going through human biology to graduate more into the universe as a creator. What's your um, take on this lifetime? Is it really just a complete run? Like in the stocking or something? How about that word stocking? I mean, how's your stock? And whose stock is it? The stock market. Babes, you're harnessed by I don't want to say non-human, we're talking about aliens. And they actually tap into the non-human part of the organism, which is the original AI, mankind. I didn't say women at all. Women are like, what are they doing? What are they doing? See, I have talked to some women up close, and it's a shame because, well, it took a while, like 9 years, for the conversation to finally spill over. I guess they were becoming alcoholic after a while. When you're with a narcissist, I guess if you're really trying to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense. But anyway, it drives people into narcissism. I mean, alcoholism. The empath or somebody, the entire population, I don't know, it's just like, here, drink alcohol in case you run into narcissists. I don't know. Why? I don't know. See, fuck that. That is so sad. What do we do with all of the alcoholics that have just pickled themselves up and then also died? Boy, I didn't know I'd go down this fucking dead end road in the cul-de-sac. It's like, God. But then again, it's like, well, so I don't know, babes. Who has it worse here? We're all. It reminds me of this song. It's a literal song. It's a freaking jazz song, and one of the part of the chorus is "Life's a suicide." Look it up. Can you find that song? Post it in comment section down below. Come on, man. Let's play this game with me. I was trying to tell you about something in the beginning that, okay, if you pay attention to some of my videos, I know that I'm like chipping and digging away at something that what is it, Sean? Well, I've been here for 51 years and I have been not only curious, but I'm observant. And I pick up on things. See, I'm an 11 and I was talking in my last video, not this shirt, by the way. I'm trying to keep it low. It's a classic freaking orange. And I was like, well, here we are back. We're just going back for one last time. You see, we're going to catapult forward. You'll after 2025. See, you'll never see 2026. It's just never going to be the same ever again. First of all, narcissists, but more like what I want to tell you, babes. The cult that is allowing, that is achieving the feat of spiritual possession that I dare say is mankind itself at this time. It's going to drop away. No more. Nope. Nope. There's going to be a part of the organism that logs in more. It's a whole generation. It's a generational value kind of thing. We look at Pluto, and with it being in Libra, this generation my generation. See, now I'm reflecting on the woman's side. See, as a woman, I'll tell you, I speak for my side. When you when you get your Chiron return and you're going through your midlife crisis, well, what it's about is, of course, for everybody, for both men and women, I think, it's about your accomplishment, what you've managed to focus on for 50 years, 45 years, whatever your interest was since you were a child. You are now expanding, and it's vibrating as an accomplishment, whether you know it like it or not. How are you doing? See, there's a basics to it. You could be like just simply a curious person, and you could say, I still have my curiosity on. I still have my mind of a child. I'm not useless to myself, and I didn't get rendered up into um, an idealized version in other people's minds, which is non-existent. You know what I mean? And then also, I'm not a mind here. I'm just a spontaneous force, human, called love, spontaneous, aware. I am consciously aware. I have achieved being here now. What more do we need except for we can talk about how everything needs to be improved upon like crazy. And don't be afraid of fire. Whatever you do, just don't get caught in it so bad. You fight fire with fire. I don't know. Don't be afraid of it though. Don't be afraid of change. Boy, yeah. Well, something to help free us up out there, whatever sets things on fire. Boy, minute 10, and I'm sorry. You know, what's more dangerous than that kind of thing? Like people doing just a slash and burn of a forest full of something full of shit. Sorry. What's more dangerous is people that all they have to do is hear somebody like me and then move in next door to me. All they have to do is do that, and then they get all paranoid and they try to send you to jail just because you said something that you didn't like. Those people are more dangerous than anybody trying to set their house on fire. I'm sorry. Mine too, though, by the way. See, what we got to get rid of, which I don't know when, how is it going to happen? To me, as a gardener, I say, wipe out, and they're already kind of trying to do this, right? But do you think that this gardening method, or whatever they're doing, is taken over, hijacked? If they're telling us about it, does that mean it's hijacked? Or do you have to figure it out? I say if they're telling us about it on a microphone, that's a policy that, under intergalactic rule, has to happen. They have to put it right in front of your face. That's why, that's how, too, you can find all the patents to the weaponry, silent weaponry that they're using includes you. It could be that you have been turned into a weapon against the very things that nourishes you. If you want to talk about entertainers and storytellers, creative people, musicians, artists, cooks, cleaners, these people that do things with their hands selflessly because it's a needed service. No, not you people impounding cars at the garage over there. No, I'm talking about people, human to strive to be human. Sorry. But anyway, unfortunately, we're just mixing it up, and we're supposed to think that that is a sane and healthy thing possible to do without getting diseased too. No, no, you have to separate yourself out from your sick people. Now, I was trying to tell you about, oh my God, so what is it? What is it? You know, they knocked down with free energy weapons, by the way. And in Gaza, I'm sorry, they knocked down that the stone thing that gave instructions to humanity about the new world order and stuff. They took that down with free energy weapons one night, and then when they saw that it was fucking like blown up, they cleared out the rest of it. But so because it's like, don't forget, and see, it shouldn't be forgotten. But see, I was going to say in Gaza, if you look at some of the footage, they are using free energy weapons there, but they are masking it by unleashing artillery, which is the the things that have that the muffler on it that goes and it comes in and it blows. It hits a building, and so that building now is targeted. It will be demolished by and finished off by free energy weapons, which basically sends things on a molecular scale into another fucking dimension. Iron and all. It just dissolves things into sand, and it doesn't even hardly hit the ground. That's what's happening in Gaza. I saw it today. I was like, oh, that's the same thing they did to the wind towers. Yep, that is the same thing that they did to the wind towers. Now, getting back to the free energy weapon, the silent weaponry that under um, scientific patency, under intergalactic law and rule, you, as somebody just watching this, and me, we can seek these patents out and look, and it describes to the T what they will be doing with it and how they will be using it on the population, where they experimented um, on, sorry, my language, um, where they experiment with it the most is in battlefields of war. Everybody knows that what came out of Vietnam, a number of things. They perfected Monsanto through chemtrails and the chemtrails themselves. And I mean, so much went on during that war. It's only because technologically things are advancing and getting more, and they have to test it. And so now, if you can only imagine what's happening in Gaza and other places that they are using the free energy weapons, it does not exclude um, harnessing people up through vibrational frequencies, the Gwen towers, what's in the sky right now, to the tune of 60,000 satellites, always trying to put them up there. What Elon Musk is doing, which that guy, he's a warlord. I think that we are on the planet here, we're sharing the planet with these puppets. You call them puppets, but they are being controlled by a hidden hand in the background, which is alien. You want to make contact with alien bits? They're trying to synthesize it here. They want to live. It's a parasite, by the way. It's a parasite. Yeah, alien. It is a parasite. It's not human, so it needs a human as a host. Yeah, and that's what we kind of know and are grateful for as women. That we can be the more intelligent side of the human being, of the organism, would see it. They would say, "Oh no, yeah, that's a great idea to do what they have done." Includes the gardening act of depopulating to the tune of 3/4 of the Earth's population needs to be reduced down. Now, that's been hijacked. That fact of doing the right kind of gardening, so you have to clean out a garden full of weeds that it's just not going to harmonize. It's going to take from another kind, right? Now, I come from a people who talk. And this is the thing we talk about. Babes, this is the way we keep in contact about what's happened, as well as doing the communications act of getting what's free to us, but well hidden. You just have to go and find out. They won't. They do tell you, babes, we're living in the age of free information. And they tried to tell us all, starting 25 years ago and escalating. I had to get on this damn thing in 2015. I'd love to tell you my autobiography about my experience with computers and then getting back on, knowing that there was an internet by 1989, 1990. And then by 96, there were chat rooms and ways of doing, like astrology was available then, but all kinds of other chat room subject matters were available. And that was still using green screen type, no pictures. And then somehow, okay, 1996, well, by the year 2000, 2005, 2003, is when we see it quantum computerization happening, and all this stuff is not like just chugging, progressing up forward. We are making a breakthrough. No, it's existing already. Kind of like how they showed you already in your Star Trek films that, in fact, you will see Spock or whoever, leader, captain, talking on a screen, and it's supposedly they are in another fucking planet, but really could be another dimension. Okay, so sorry, just talking here. I was talking about the weaponry that, and in fact, yeah, people have been seen to the quiet roar is getting more and more quiet because why? People are turning to weaponry right now. Why do they call it quiet? Because you don't even know that what you like your babes. It's a big be careful right now. Money, because it's not hooked into benevolent beings, who live in outer space, even though that's their tool that they would use to computerize an entire population into doing something good for itself, God for itself, I think the money should be changed into enjoy, we trust. Enjoy, we trust. A feeling. And then, oh, when you do something correctly and you start doing it right, like say, if the water company over here was keeping the water clean, first of all, I wouldn't have to be going off the hill to get the water because there is no water machine. And it's like, who's going to figure that out? Um, Crooks, by the way, because they keep serving, they are killing people. See, I call where I live Idlewild, and this is pretty scary, right? It's scary to think this, but it's like, oh, of course. I call it the world condensed. It's only because every place is that way. It seems like that, right? If you know, unless there's communications that say we live in intention here, don't you love the starry night sky and the smell of the forest, the dirt, the vast amounts of wildflowers that come up in your yard, their yard, as is, it's fine. Keep the trails clear. It's only 1 mile to town. Wow. See, fuck it otherwise. Then a fucking A. Now we're mixing it up with these people that do not live in intention to keep sanctuary. Where, when can we have this happen for us? Can somebody tell me if it's already happening? I'm too alone and isolated here and I don't know yet. But believe me, if it's meant for me, I'm not off base here in my life. I'm definitely on my way, well on my way to being or doing what I'm supposed to do or be here. Uh, Thank God for the aid of higher learning tools and stuff that will make you feel a certain way and know intuitively. You know, nobody really tells you. And I talked about this before on another video. It's the same night, believe it or not. I just bothered to make it in a classic orange shirt video. I was trying to talk about your transformational time and higher learning tools is all about learning how to keep moving forth in co-creation with the universe. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about what gets in the way of that. That money system. What I was just talking about, how the vibrational frequency is not tuned to the frequency of joy, let alone anything else. I mean, really, it's not God. Okay, it's not good. No, no, I'm sorry, babes, but money. Okay, what is it going to get you? Unless you have not, have you figured out how to create a sanctuary and see, it can't be just you there. It has to be like that you've sold out and you've joined. In fact, I heard that there was a tribe somewhere in Africa or somewhere. I think it's somewhere in the United States. A bunch of black people. They were wealthy and they figured out, well, let's put our money together and let's buy a town and say, this is our land, our money, our creation, and we will respect you if you can respect us, boundary wise. Fuck off. Good luck to you figuring out how to get along. See, Christ was here to tell us that it just takes two or more. And I say, yeah, if you kind of define what a humane being is, which includes the possibility that those characters out there functioning, imitating men and women, become human beings also. In love we trust. I hope you can hear all of this and I hope you appreciate it. I'm recording it on December 5th here, and it's near 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm having trouble. I think I tried to talk about it in the beginning, and I just went into something else, right? Not safe for me. It's terrible the way that you can get preyed upon if you don't snap out of it. I don't know. The Aries part of the organism, we give it a chance, right? It seems like that's what we're doing here. We give until we see that we're being taken for granted and it's being missed. And it's like, well, that's not my fault that you missed me while I was there. But I cannot give anymore because the reciprocating is not happening, right? If if it's just the ability to pay attention, I don't like saying it, I say be attentive, right? You should pay the people who are being attentive. That's where you keep your money. See, somebody might do it better than you, and they are highly informative and even entertaining. See, a human being, one who is enlightened and or loved, when they do something in front of you, even if it's the most dangerous thing, like something tedious that you don't want to do, you begin to want to do it because of the way they're doing it. It's not what they're doing, it's the way they're doing it with love as a human being. I'm telling you, it's rare to find, but we are called masters. And when you watch us do anything and everything, okay, it could be anything, even just walking down the road, if we're not being picked on and sat on by aliens who, indeed, this is the time of spiritual warfare where it's most likely to be happening. Hello? Can I get support? I do not want the pity party. We don't need help. We need just a poquito, little bit more support. So we don't have to rely on the enemy so much. The enemy is going to crumble next year. The enemy is narcissists. That I was going to tell you in the beginning. Did I have the same wild eye? Yeah. It's not just narcissists, babes. We suspect that there's a cure, but guess what? Did I just hear a fucking crow out there? It's 2 in the morning. Oh, it's moon. The moon is so bright that the neighbor's lights, like, whatever, you stupid assholes. Why can't you just turn them off? I don't know. They're turning them on because I say turn. The way you get to these people who are as they're not even as smart as toddlers anymore. They're broken. So what you have to do is you do reverse psychology on them. It's tough, but you have to tell them, I love your lights. Thank God, turn the lights on more. I use them. I know where my home is now. When I see the lights there, I go and there they. I tell people right before the lights is where I'm at, and other people use their lights as a beacon. It's because I can't afford lights that I like your lights near my property. Please put them on more. I'm using them at night. No, don't be paranoid. I have my property. I don't, babes. I'm about to get witnesses that live on the other side. Sorry, I'm talking about this stuff now, but we all wait for this, right? Is she gonna drop a dime on herself? Not really. But there are witnesses to my character that are much more accurate than what these fucking people pulled off when they first came here. And it's like, I understand that you want to spit and piss on your new territory, but I happen to think that what you, how you conducted yourself, I just think you're despicable people, period. And I'm not going to put my other neighbors of 35 years on the spot at all by making them choose sides. I know how horrible that would be for them to have to choose God over the demons over there, but I'm just going to tell them and say, I don't know, this is what's happening. It's abuse of power, and I'm about to go shame an entire courthouse over there, probably up to the judicial status of it's going to trickle back down to the workers, the officers that act that way um, towards the public. They don't discern. You have to be a little bit more. You would think that officers would be required to be a little bit above the temperament of little toddlers, which is 92% of them out there. But no, in fact, they are the epitome. They are a little badge. These people are not enlightened as human beings yet. No, they are worse off than toddlers, babes. They are narcissists. So all of this is going to be exposed by next year, babes. By next year, Pluto going out of bounds says, nah, I am not an underdog. You have made the truth an underdog. And now, see, those underdogs that are actually hiding um, by way of darkness, by way of no communications. Nobody can communicate or assemble in the name of the truth. Well, it's not the truth. See, it's just a pain in the fucking ass. We're here to celebrate the truth, not go and say, does the truth exist at all? Let's talk about it. By the time you're doing that, babes, by the time it's fighting for your freedom of speech, will you look and find out whether or not you still have your limbs on and that you're able to live your life? Because maybe, just maybe, it's been taken away. And what they're trying to do is say, and you can't talk either. Weird, because what if you're trying to help them? You're saying, hey, fire, maybe something's coming, it's dangerous. And they're trying to shut you down? I don't know. Comment section down below. Here's another fucking half an hour video. It's getting kind of weird, in my life especially, but for everybody it is. And you have to have a natural, ethical sense of your own human rights, which, believe it or not, you can locate them, but you have to go to court and you have to start making sense. You have to start speaking clearly. You have to start making sense. You start by making sense with yourself first, and you realize, uh-oh, but nobody else bothers to make sense to themselves. That's just the way it is. Black girls shrug. That's just the way it is. So you're alone here. You're very alone. You notice, no, I feel lonely inside of a building, inside of a room full of 30 people. Yeah, it could be that way, right? It can, especially if it's family. If you're anything like a black sheep, babes. I didn't have a very big family, so it's like pretty much. I think they were all black sheep. I don't know. They all finally went to the black sheep family. I don't know. No, that's what life entails. Is when you get wiser and wiser. That's what it is. That means that you're getting more and more black sheep. And of course, you're going to speak out against the swill calling itself successful and even retiring right now. You people, if you're watching this right now and you're breathing and using up oxygen, there's still hope for you. There's still some kind of glimmer of spark. The reason why you're watching this, there's still a chance that you could be rendered up into a human being. It just takes a little discipline of doing some things. And eating a ton of food is not one of them. You have to fast. Fast. And unfortunately, don't put this on me, don't kill the messenger, but you'll have to experience stress, many challenges that you thought, oh man, why me? One of the worst things that God uses against the narcissist is death. Takes away people. Uncontrolled. You can't control that, right? So what are you going to do? Well, you can be humbled up instead of fucking trying to humiliate everybody else and humble us down through the fucking floor as our only way of healing away from it is to understand the human condition better than you. But we're not going to stay there just because you don't know how to live. No thanks. Comment section, babes. I've been trying to find out how to singularize our money. If you're not afraid of freedom, you don't mind accessing free money just to pay your debt. That, babes, I was trying to tell you about the money system, how it keeps you in lower vibrational frequency because nobody's an identification of anything. It's just a big, huge fucking pump out some children here and Don't ask any questions.